starting an organization like Young Equal was important to me because at the end of the day, when I look back at the little David, as I always tell our board members, it's an organization that I needed. It's the connection that I was missing. And so that's where it was really birthed from, was just seeing this need in my life and then talking to other people who've gone through similar journeys and realizing that when you grow up in a smaller town and you don't have, an LGBTQ center in your community, you don't know what to plug into. And so we wanted to create something which provides not only an outlet for performing arts or athletics or a way to connect, but also that's inclusive of this environment so that our students can come and meet other people just like them and realize that they're not alone. You're not that weird kid that you thought you were. There are so many people like you, and the journey's going to be okay. And you've got a chance now to bring these people into your chosen family. It's crazy. When I was forming this organization and when I was trying to make sure that my mind is focused on exactly what the goal is and what the objective is, I would constantly go back to this journal. This journal is literally my coming out journal. This was the journal, that I bought this journal on March 10th, and I came out to my family 2 days later. This is from March 12th, 2002. That's the day I came out to my parents. I just talked to my parents. They were talking about Queer as Folk. My mom said, "Does this influence you?" I said, "What do you mean?" My mom said, "I don't know if I can be more blunt about it." I said, "Are you asking me if I'm gay?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Yes, I am." Then minutes of scary silence, me wondering how they'll react so many ways. Will I get kicked out? Will they cry? Will I cry? Then we talked about it being a sin or not, and all that. They said they're going to pray for me, that I'll change. I think when people ask me why I decided to start Young Equal, it's something that I've physically been working on for 2 years, but it's something else that I've been emotionally preparing for my entire life. It's filling a hole that wasn't there for me growing up. At the time I came out, I was 19 and I was living at home and going to college. I ran 2 Christian fellowship clubs in local schools. I was an active member in my church. I worked for a teen abstinence program as one of their leaders. So, needless to say, it was a big deal. But the hardest part of coming out was that everything I thought was going to happen did. The people that I knew would turn their backs on me. The reaction from my parents that I knew I was going to get, I got. Everything that I had tried to hold and suppress from everybody, when it finally came out, all of it coming to light, played out exactly how I was scared it would play out. And it was the scariest thing. And I had no one to turn to. This was March 16th, 2002, 6 p.m. Could this day get any worse? Honestly, could it? I just got into a big fight with my parents. They just kept crying, both of them. I'm going to start going to a counselor. My mom is dead set on turning me straight. Dead set. She'll sell the house to pay for it if she has to. She just wants me to be normal. As much as they say they love me, I'm really starting to wonder. I really am. The counselor that my parents decided to send me to was their Sunday school teacher. So that clearly kind of paved the way of where these conversations were going. And during a heated debate with him about whether or not I should go to conversion therapy, and if that would be beneficial with me, he said, "You just need to understand that your parents had all these hopes and dreams for you. And this information has just changed the way that they see your future. I didn't know what to say. So then during this conversation, he said to me, you just have to understand your parents' point of view. It would be like if my daughter came to me and said, Dad, I want to move to California and go make necklaces with the gypsies. He said, I would be so disappointed just because I see so much more potential for her. And I remember saying, yeah, but if that's what makes your daughter happy, and that's how she feels that she can serve the world and make it a better place, who are you to tell her that she's wrong? And now, all these years later, I found my necklaces with the gypsies. I found this opportunity to protect the next generation of LGBTQ youth and young adults, as some of them are going through the same exact experiences that I was, as some of them are struggling at home, as some of them are looking around and finding that there's no friend they can confide in, that there's no friend that's like them, that has these same feelings as them, that is emotionally going through this journey. So the goal of Young Equal is to create these workshops and these environments where LGBTQ youth and young adults can come and meet other people just like them. Where they can now pick up the phone and say, hey, I had a really shitty day, but I'm glad that I can call you. And I'm glad that I know you now, and that you sometimes have shitty days too. And I'm glad I can be there for you. The goal of Young Equal is to create these small environments that have these big, lasting connections. The other resource that Young Equal provides to these the youth and young adult LGBTQ members is a faculty that's connected locally, as well as aware of other resources that we can point them in the direction of. If they're struggling with suicidal thoughts, the faculty is ready to point them in the direction of an organization like Trevor Project. If they're ready to be a part of the community more, the faculty is ready to point them towards their local LGBTQ center. What Young Equal does, when you break it down at the end of the day, from the workshops to the resources that we provide to all of that, if you strip all of that away, what's at the very core, what the vision we're trying to create is, we are creating chosen families. We are providing a table, and we're setting it, and you can come, and when you come to the table, it's gonna be filled with people like you. It's gonna be filled with people who are going through your exact journey. And I can tell you, as someone who went through this, who didn't have a table to be invited to, who was so lost and confused, programs like this are life-changing. It provides an avenue where people can now feel so secure in their life, so on point with their identity, knowing that, hey, there's gonna be haters, but I've got a whole team of people who love and support me, that I can pick up the phone, that I can go on a quick drive and go see, members of their own communities. What I would tell somebody who's thinking about supporting Young Equal, besides just do it, is that it's an opportunity for you to change the life of so many other people. And there's still people who go through the same struggles that I went through. There's still people who are having trouble finding themselves in their family life. There's still people who question whether or not God loves them. There's still people who feel so alone. And if we can change that, just for one person, let alone all of our participants, if we can change the way that they look at their identity and how they fit into community, we've achieved our mission. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is helping to guide these young adults in their path and letting them know you are loved. Community is love. Allies are love. Love is love.